Man, he's incredible. I've known him for, man, 10 years. He's an incredible speaker. He's an incredible author. Just has a new book that just came out. And so I'm excited to have him up here today. Made it possible for some students to go to FIFA. Can y'all give it up for James Ayola?
Yo, mic check. Can you hear me? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing?
Good. James, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me.
I love it, man. Thank you so much for coming. We're so excited to have you here.
Word.
And we're going to move it right into it.
Sure.
So the first question I want you to do is introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Let everyone know exactly what you do and why are you excited to be here.
Yeah, James Ayola, Puerto Rican from New Jersey. Shout out to Jersey in the house. That's what's up. Yeah, man, Dirty Jers. I am a first-generation college graduate, and super grateful to be here. I've been in the corporate space for 20 years. I have managed to help companies save millions of dollars and earn millions of dollars just by something very special called healthy leadership. And I've worked with Walmart, Home Depot, Sprint Wireless. Currently, I am a part of the leadership team for ticketing for FIFA, getting ready to put on the World Cup. And so I'm super happy to be here with everybody.
Man, give it up for James!
Yeah.
Now, James, I'm going to get into it, but you got something real special going on right now.
Yeah.
James has a new leadership book. So, James, real quick, let everyone know about your leadership book. I think they can buy it now, right?
Yes, sir.
Let them know about the book real quick in like 2 to 3 minutes, because I want to make sure they know about your book.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So last name is Oyola. Yeah, my wife and I, we just published a leadership book called The Helpful Leader. And long story short, this is what I call a psychosocial, cross-cultural leadership book. I've had the pleasure of leading teams in South Africa, Belize, the Philippines, and Jamaica. And it's just about helping people be better, understanding that leadership is about heavy emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, effective communication. And so I like to say, man, for someone who really wants to grow in self-awareness and learn how to be a better person, this is definitely a good resource amongst others, of course.
Awesome. Give it up.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's get into it. First 90 days of the new job.
Yeah.
People are graduating from college. They're getting internships. Studies show that the first 90 days can have a huge impact on your career trajectory and what you bringing value to an organization. So I want to go right out the gates. 3 to 5 things that every first generation student should do in the first 90 days if they're working for FIFA.
Yeah. Man, don't get it twisted, man. You know, a company says yes to you and you say yes to a company, they're still going to take those 90 days to vet you, right? You know, you did your job to get in the door, but now you got to stay. And there's a lot of statistics where turnover and termination happens within those first 90 days. So that's a great question. I would say be a sponge, communicate. You know, everything that you said in the interview, live it out. Take notes. I have a great friend who is a professional speaker named Andy Enriquez. You know Andy, and he says note takers are money makers. And so take notes. Yeah, shout out Andy. Take notes, right? Be a sponge. But one thing I'll say is very important: get to know everybody. Because let me tell you, in the business, the CEO is not more important than the custodian. The custodian is not more important than the CEO, right? Every person that's in front of you is the most important person to you. So anybody you come in contact with, get their name. Ask them where they're from, right? You know, because everybody's from somewhere and everybody has a story like it's been mentioned. And so those first 90 days, let people know who you are, right? But man, communicate and just absorb. Like you asked to be there, you did your LinkedIn, you did your resume, now you're in the building. But being in the building doesn't get you a seat at the table. And a seat at the table doesn't get you a meal at dinner. And a meal at dinner might not get you hanging out after work. And so you want to build those relationships in those first 90 days if that's a place that you want to be for a few years.
I love that. Next question. Onboarding.
Yeah.
I tell people often, it's probably, I tell people often, if you don't get onboarded, good luck in thriving in the organization, because onboarding is so critical, not just in the retention, but also in making sure that people can reach their fullest potential. But the reality is, a lot of people's onboarding is filling out the paperwork.
Sure.
So what I want to ask you is, if you do not get an onboarding experience and they just throw you in the job, they don't tell you nothing, and say, here's your job, here's your office, go do it, How do you navigate that?
Yeah, listen, man, don't lose an opportunity to somebody that's hungrier than you. Please don't. Hungry mouths get fed. And so, again, you did everything you did to get in the door. If your onboarding process isn't the traditional one or as structured as you need, make it happen. Go knock on doors. Hey, who's the HR lady? Hey, who's such and such? Hey, excuse me, do you know where such and such is? Man, you have to make it happen because you got to be hungry. Because once you start walking around like you're full and satisfied, that's when you stop growing. And man, please, like it's been said before about believe, that's an amazing word. You have your potential. You literally have to create your future. Nobody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to serve it on a platter. So everybody in here, you're here today because that's exactly what you're doing. You're going after for what you want. My man that wants to be a commentator for the World Cup, don't let nothing or no one stop you, not even yourself. So yeah, man, if you don't know where HR is, ask. If you don't know where the bathroom is, ask. Just keep asking, keep talking. Don't stop communicating to get where you want to go.
I love that. I love that. Relationships.
Yeah. that's important to me.
First 90 days, what are 3 relationships you're making at FIFA?
Yeah, I would say,
FIFA,
for me, well, I'll tell you what I did. So for me, the most important relationship was the lady that I think everybody paid attention to the least. In my heart, because for me, I'm all about my purpose. I'm not really about a job. I'm not about my own self-advancement. I'm about, Lord, why do you have me here? And so, man, the lady who everybody, or the gentleman who everybody pays attention to least, that's my first most important person. Because I want to let her know that I see her, or I want to let him know that I see him. Number 2 is the person who hired me. Because I want to remind them that you made a good choice, right? Like, don't second guess that. And so the least, and you'll notice who people pay attention to and who people don't. And I'll tell you why that's important. Because you don't want to be the person who people pay attention to least. And in order for you to do that, you have to treat somebody else the same way. So focus on the one that people might overlook. Focus on the one who hired you. And then focus on the one who's occupying the space that eventually you want to get to.
I love it.
Build that relationship, because it's really all about relationships. I wouldn't be on this stage if I didn't have a relationship with this gentleman, and if we didn't believe in what God is doing in both of us. So I would say that.
That's great. That's great. Next question.
Sure.
Oh, man, I can do that too. Next question. When it comes to mistakes, what are the biggest mistakes that you have seen young professionals make? And you're like, ooh, or maybe you had to pull them to the side and have a real conversation. There we go. Yeah. Tell me a story where you saw a young professional make a mistake, because you're a helper, so you're probably going to help that person. And they made a mistake. Who did you pull to the side, and what did you tell them? You don't have to say name, but what was the story that really stands out?
No, so I used to work in Jamaica a lot. Shout out to J.A. I used to work in Jamaica a lot, and you know, from domestic companies, we travel there, and sometimes people think that that's like a party. You're in another country, we get to have dinner, and it's social, but I like to say, and I joined a fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi, if anybody's in here, that's what's up. But yeah, I know, it's, even though you're off, you gotta always be on. Please don't ever forget that. So if you're at work and everybody's going out after work and it's off and you're social, always be on, because people are always watching. Please remember that. And so my man, we was in Jamaica, and he thought we were too off. And he was super social, he wanted to go out, he was ordering drinks. And for me, I had a director role at the time, and I had to pull him to the side. And I'd say, listen, man, everybody's watching you. They might be taking shots with you, but they're gonna be talking about you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you see such and such and how he was acting last night? So you gotta give him the game. So I would say, you know, and if I could just add just a little more to that, I would just say, be professional, learn how to be professional and social, because you have to have a social personality. You can't just, you know, lock yourself up in your own mind and in your own heart and just go to work and go home, because they have to build relationships. But there has to be boundaries, there has to be wisdom in how you navigate being social and professional. Because if you're too social, they're gonna think you're unprofessional. And if you're too professional, they're gonna think you're not social. And a lot of business relationships are made, most part, in the social setting, on the golf course, at a dinner table. And so you gotta navigate both, but with wisdom, and stay true to your core values. Whatever you believe about yourself, however your parents raised you or your grandma raised you, Stay true to that. Don't ever change or code switch because you think that's what's necessary to get another promotion. That's the worst thing you can do. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't stay true to who I believe that I am.
That's great. That's great. I want to go another question because I'm just now with the flow. My next question I want to ask is, how do you create authentic professional relationships?
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, it's simple. I like to say that you have to care about the person and you have to care about the professional. So let's say John, right? John is an employee of mine in the ticketing department for FIFA, along with me serving 7.4 million ticket holders. That's not just ticket applicants. And so if I only addressed John as John the employee, then John the person is going to suffer. So what does that look like? If I'm only asking him about those reports, if I'm only asking him about staying extra, if I'm only treating him according to his meaning to the company, then his humanity is going to feel unseen and neglected. But if I ask John about his family, hey John, I know that your son had a baseball tournament last week. How'd he do? I heard that your grandmother was sick. Is she okay? If I invest in John as the person, then the professional is going to thrive. But if I only care about the professional, then the person is going to suffer. And so authentic relationships are really, for me, built off of me being authentic myself. And it's a tribute to my faith. Love God with my heart, mind, soul, and strength. Love my neighbor as myself. You all are my neighbor. John is my neighbor. And so I have to care about his life. I do have to make a disclaimer, though. We always got to keep it professional, right? You can't be asking questions that you don't have no business asking. But, you guys know what I mean, right? Keep it professional. But care about the person. Yeah. Because behind the title is a human. Yeah. And if you only address the title, then you're losing out on that relationship human to human. And again, to me, those human to human relationships have taken me farther than only focusing on the person with the title has.
That's great. That's good. I can go into that too, but I want to ask this question because you have a new book.
Yeah.
Your book's on leadership.
Sure.
Man, give us like 3 nuggets from your book that you think will help these future, because I don't just see them as professionals, I see them as future leaders.
Yeah.
What are 3 nuggets for them to be future leaders that you just, from your book, that you think would be really helpful in this new, as we continue to evolve?
Yeah, I would say, and you guys have taken maybe this course or you haven't, but man, focus on emotional intelligence. Focus on growing in your EQ, because there's not many things I can guarantee you in life, but I can guarantee you one thing right now: you will be offended in life. And that offense can be intentional or it can be unintentional. And in my experience, most of it has been unintentional. And if you don't have strong emotional intelligence, you're gonna let that throw you any way which you could be. So emotional intelligence is key. Grow in conflict resolution, right? Healthy leaders build healthy teams. Depleted leaders build depleted teams. But depletion doesn't just mean physical exhaustion. Where are you in your heart? The reason why emotional intelligence is important is because please don't let any prejudice or bias or cultural norms stop you from being a good human being to the person next to you. And so for me, I wrote the book because I saw a lot of that happening. I saw it in Jamaica, I saw it in South Africa, and sadly, I was a byproduct of making some of those mistakes myself. I'll give you an example. I went to Jamaica one time, I had a team in Montego Bay, and I was on the phone. I showed up in the morning, and I was on the phone. I was literally saving our account, and I walked by my team, and I just gave them a high wave. And so I went in my office 2 hours later, the call ends, I come back, hey, what's up, y'all, how y'all doing? Everybody had this like frozen look on their face. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, James, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, is everything okay with us? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, why are you guys asking? And they're like, well, you didn't greet us. And I'm like, what do you mean? I went like this. I said, hi, I was on the phone. And they were like, yeah, but we prefer more of an actual like, hey, how you doing? And so I learned in that moment that in that culture, they value pleasantries.
That's great.
And I learned that even if I can justify, yeah, I was on the phone, I went like that, but am I really like loving them? Am I really trying to lead them properly? And so I started actually the book with that story, because there's a term called psychological safety. You want your boss, your teacher, your parents, your person you're in a relationship with, you want everybody to create psychological safety for you, to be safe up here. And so I need to create that with my team. And so I was so grateful for that experience because I was like, okay, you know what? I can't just hit them with everything I'm used to. I need to learn how people live in Jamaica, in South Africa, wherever you go, wherever your life takes you, please learn about the people and the culture in that area. You would do yourself a disservice and limit your effective ability by not doing that. And so that's really what the book is rooted to. It's cross-cultural leadership. We have a framework. I learned how to say good morning in Arabic. So if you see somebody, you say sabah al khair.
Okay.
And that's good morning. Shukran. That means thank you. Please learn that. Listen, I never learned that before, but I can't be working at FIFA and the person next to me speaks Arabic and not ask her, how do you say good morning in your language? Or ask her, hey, so what, does your name mean anything special in the Arabic language? And she's like, yes, it means sweet mother. We have to take an interest in people to that degree. Please don't get so focused on your goals and your priorities that you overlook people. Because people are gonna take you to your goals and your priorities. You're not gonna do it alone.
That's good, that's good. All right, last question, kind of over time. Last
Yeah,
one,
my
right?
bad.
No, it's good. No, you're not, no, it's beautiful. I love it. Last question, as I said to Beth and Ileana, what is one thing you would say to first generation students across the country? If there was something you would say, what is one word you would use? You got believe, you got consistency.
Word, faith.
Faith. Yes. Believe, faith, consistency. Can y'all give it up for James? Give it up for James. Awesome.